Actually, I've never played Heroes of Blizzcon, so someone should quickly describe the gameplay.
It's okay, we'll talk about it.
League of Legends with gates and stuff. And
okay, this is the theme song's over, guys.
All right.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Multitap podcast. I'm Jason Draper.
How's it episode 6 already?
You missed episode 5. AJ was dead last week.
Oh, I'm AJ. I'm sick.
I'm Colby, and I am not sick.
I'm Paul, and I feel compelled to tell you that I am also not sick and still single. I'm trying to get the word out there.
I'm Daniel.
Our special guest for the week.
Yeah.
He's
our Overwatch.
You may not
expert.
have noticed because we don't really mention it, but we rotate a person through every podcast.
Cool.
Last week was 2 people because AJ was dead.
Yep.
I was dead to the world.
It was the spooky episode. You missed it.
I know.
Anyways, AJ, you want to start off?
Yeah, the docket for this week, we're going to be talking about BlizzCon. Just happened. Hot off the presses news. November releases, since it's the first podcast of the month. Some random movie shit because,
Of course.
The Wonder Woman trailer.
All right,
and the release of Doctor Strange.
And we'll probably be talking about what we've been playing. So let's just get started with BlizzCon. The opening ceremony kicked off this morning. They talked about just random bullshit for about half an hour and nobody paid attention. And then all of a sudden they started playing a trailer for some Overwatch stuff.
Oh, that was
the transition was really cool. The
transition was almost perfect because it made us all think that our laptops were freaking the fuck out.
Because Sombra hacked her way in.
Yeah, so like they had played like what Overwatch looked like when it was being launched, and then like they had just had like clips of people like, oh, the game's going live, and then like every now and again a little stutter would happen.
I thought it was a problem with their stream.
So did I.
I just remember seriously talking with Jason. I was like, "Oh, is that us? No, that must be a problem with their stream."
The ARG had pretty much led up into like Sombra was going to hack her way into BlizzCon. So I kind of, as soon as it started stuttering a little bit, I was like, "Oh, it's Sombra."
Yeah, and then they transitioned it into Sombra's first animated short,
which was so good.
It was really good.
Kobe, did you see it?
Yeah, I did. It was good.
I'm excited to watch it again.
You're gonna watch it again?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
Basically, it featured Volskaya Industries, which is the first time we've ever seen it in an animated short. It had Reaper and Widow alongside Sombra, but it looked like Sombra had like a hidden agenda fucking over.
Because they were working for Talon,
yeah.
But it looks like Sombra has her. Yeah, she wants to use the Russian government to her own uses.
I like how there's so much backstory in this thing, and then you actually play Overwatch, and it's like there are like 2 Sombras and 3 Reinhardts fighting each other, and it's like it doesn't make any sense.
You have a team of Bastions fighting to deliver an EMP.
Well, something that I really respect with Overwatch is like you don't need all that backstory, but Blizzard puts all this time into building these like really diverse like character backgrounds and building up to make it so you feel more attached to the characters that you're playing.
I didn't think that Blizzard could create another interesting character, and they did.
Well, I feel like they're pulling a lot from Titan, their canceled MMO.
Yeah.
Where with all the story building and stuff, because I imagine a lot of this stuff had to have stemmed from Titan, and they just had a lot of this leftover story. And
a few of the characters were directly from Titan.
Reaper was like a variation of one of the classes in Titan.
Tracer.
I think Lucio. At
really?
Some point, yeah. I remember seeing some concept art from Titan that looked a lot like Lucio.
Okay, so let's move on to Sombra.
What
does Sombra do, Daniel? Explain to Paul. Paul is not very initiated with this character, so just tell Paul.
So she's a elite hacker.
Elite Hacksaurus.
1337.
All right, so she's an offensive character. She's not strictly like more like DPS, like kind of like Tracer is, or a lot of the other DPS. She's more like an offensive support. So she has a submachine gun, which it's got a little bit of a spread.
It seemed like a lot of a spread.
Is it like Tracer spread?
Kind of, but I don't think you have to be as close.
Okay.
It's a little bit smaller. She has stealth. She can turn invisible and increase movement speed for a short amount of time. Short-ish. But as soon as you use an ability, it cancels the to stealth.
Is the invisibility like Halo invisibility, or
You're
is it
completely invisible.
like true invisibility?
You can still get hurt.
If you get hit, there's a little glimmer, so you can see it if you're getting attacked.
And then one of her key abilities is hack. So it kind of like attaches to enemies like Symmetra's gun.
Is it like a Discord orb where it automatically tracks them, or do you have to hit
No, you
someone
have to
with it?
be. I think I think it's default bound to right click, and you have to be within a certain range. But it like attaches and it has like a couple threads.
But do I have to aim and
attach
like?
to them?
It has to be in the general vicinity, kind of like a Roadhog.
Okay.
It's like Symmetra's left click.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exactly the same. But then once the hack finishes, the enemy cannot use any of their abilities for a short amount of time.
They can still shoot though,
They
right?
can still shoot. They can use their like left.
That's
click,
gonna
their weapons.
That's gonna be great for Reinhardt. That's like a new way to beat Reinhardt.
That's one of the big things that people are talking about.
And she can teleport.
Yeah, and then her next ability is a teleporter that she can throw called the translocator. It kind of throws like Anna's grenade a little bit, maybe not as far, but you can once you throw it, you can teleport to it even while it's still in midair. So you can like throw it across the map or like throw it up really high, and then you just teleport to it wherever that is.
That
Which
just
makes
sounds
it
like a
makes
lot of
two
cool
kinds
stuff.
of really cool gameplay. Either super offensive or super defensive. You could be defensive by throwing it down, going into combat, and coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Or you
To
could
the point.
exactly. Or you could be offensive and just like you like juking people mid combat kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you got to make a decision. The cool thing about that is like with her cloak, Daniel and I were kind of talking before, but it'd be interesting to like throw one down, sneak to the enemy backline with camouflage, hack someone, teleport back, and then push with your squad after someone's hacked. So it'll be interesting to see how those kind of strategies play out. And basically, it seems like Bastion's kind of useless now.
Yeah.
What's her health?
Her health is 200.
200.
Okay.
All right.
Another part of her hack is that she can hack health packs, health kits,
Yep.
and it
Oh.
makes it unusable by any of the enemies for.
It looked like
It,
a minute.
It's like 40 seconds to a minute. It's a long amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And you can pick up the health pack, but it stays hacked.
yeah, so you can like hack it, pick up the health pack, and then the enemies can't pick it up for still a little while.
And there's some
That'd
like
be cool.
integral health packs that you could like hack.
Especially
and
on King of
change
the Hill.
Yeah.
I think that would be really effective.
Yeah.
I wonder what happens if you hack 2 health packs. Like one Sombra gets that on one team, one on the other, and then they just no one touches it.
An unusable health pack.
There's also one thing that I had noticed on seeing someone's gameplay of it, but he saw an enemy Mercy,
Okay.
and it had her ult status above her, like it had a
Oh.
blue check mark above the enemy.
Do we
Mercy.
know what her ult is?
Does
So
that have
I
something
don't-
to do with maybe her passive ability as well?
Because her passive ability is that this is also a new thing, when she can see enemies that are at critical health through walls.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so in Overwatch,
So, like-
it's the
like when you
opposite
can
of a
heal.
healer. Exactly, it's the
Yeah.
opposite of a healer. Because when you're a healer, you can see everyone's health around you, but when you are
When they're
it's-
critical,
yeah.
When you're
it
Sombra, you
shows
can
up
see
as
the-
critical.
Exactly.
Oh,
Which will make her crucial for callouts, because she could be like, hey, this person's low, jump on him.
Yeah.
Or, hey, the enemy Mercy has an alt. Watch for that, dash in there.
But I wonder if it is just because the Mercy didn't seem critical when the ult status was above her head. So I don't know if that's just a general
What's her,
passive.
what
or-
is her ultimate?
Her ultimate is an EMP. It's an area of effect, big radius, kind of like Maze, not as big as
Yeah,
Maze.
so her hack move is on everyone now.
But yeah, it applies her hack to everybody within range, and it disables all shields and barriers within the range. So Winston's bubble, Zarya's shields, Reinhardt's shield, and it also means
So not like
So-
the health shields.
well, that's what I was getting to. So those are the barriers, right? So it also gets rid of shields, like how Zarya's
Oh,
health
that's
is-
gonna be so good for Zarya.
yeah, because it's gonna bring her down to 200 health.
Mm-hmm.
Or it'll
And-
bring down like a
Zenyatta.
Zen.
Zenyatta will be
75.
50 health.
Yeah.
Oh, Zen.
So that really
Poor
sucks.
guy.
Really sucks for Zen. Also, Lucio's ult. So if Lucio just breaks it down, she can, or even right before, like while he's in the process, it'll just cancel out all of those shields he just applied.
Oh wow. Is that constant? So it's like an area of effect that stays
Like
there for
Maze
a
ult?
while, or is it just like a grenade? Like anyone in that area?
It's immediate.
Okay.
Well, I guess for the shields, you would probably want to do it right after he does it. But it also her ult when you hack it, it cancels all ultimates because those are abilities.
Okay.
So if there's McCree's high nooning, for example, and Sombra uses her ult, he just won't be able. It'll stop his ult midway through.
Yeah,
That's
I can
pretty
imagine
cool.
that there's like a lot of games where the whole team saves up their ults, and I just imagine Sombra just ruining that entire thing.
Yeah.
She's a neutralizer as effect.
Does she
Pretty much what she
stop Soldier 76 from sprinting? Because that's an ability.
It is an ability. He wouldn't be able to sprint.
That's kind of
I imagine
goofy.
she could probably also like cancel out his ult completely.
Yep. I also, they were talking about it on
But it's like she just hacked his legs.
one of the streams I was watching, but they were trying to decide what actually happened with Lucio when he gets hacked. Whether it be that because his healing and speed is a passive, but he switches him with an ability. So
So
it
if
makes
they're
sense that he
locked-
just can't switch them, but
So Lucio may be able to still help out despite the fact,
he just can't switch.
which makes him even more of a solid pick right now.
So if you hack him while he's speed boosting, that could be nice.
Yeah, everyone just like get out of here kind of thing. It'll be interesting because so right now in the high end competitive play, like a lot of it is skill based, and then it comes down to like wombo comboing your ults right now. So it's like everyone's ult, like when a Genji ults, for example, Lucio will then ult to counter, so everyone's safe from the Genji. Now Sombra can flip the card again and essentially just Uno reverse it basically and be like, hey, now no one's shielded, so my Genji who then ulted gets to play again.
Yeah.
So it's like a trap card activating my trap card.
Exactly.
Activates my trap card.
Something really cool also is that basically Zenyatta would save his ult every time for a Genji ult. Now you don't need a support to do that. You just have Sombra use her ult when a Genji ults, for example.
Oh gosh. This new meta is going to be interesting. All right.
Like Sombra's like almost a support character,
Well, I mean,
but she's an offensive character.
that's kind of how it goes with every new character that gets introduced. The meta just completely changes. Like when Anna was introduced into the game, all of a sudden, like all these new combos came out where it was like Anna Reinhardt,
Anna Reinhardt, yeah.
and that was like the
And more-
meta to do.
Reapers are pretty good.
More recently, the Beyblade combo.
Yeah, it's Reaper and
Let her
Ana.
rip.
Anna, Lucio, Reaper. You just
Yeah.
zoom around all over the fucking map.
I wonder if people are going to end up finding, if you can see her teleporter on the ground, there'll be like a Reaper that just like spends the whole game waiting in front of the
No.
teleporter for her
The-
to come back.
The teleporter looks more. It looks around the same size as like
It's pretty small.
a Tracer's grenade that she throws. Like it's fairly small and it can fly a pretty good distance.
It's kind of like the Widowmaker.
and it only stays out for like 15 seconds.
Oh,
before-
okay. Before it goes away?
But you
Yeah.
can wait for it because I feel like a lot of Sombra players are just going to want to teleport
Yeah.
anytime they're starting to get chased down.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like a Reaper waiting or a Roadhog.
But it'd be interesting, like if you're getting chased, throwing a teleporter down, getting chased for just a bit more, and then teleporting back and
Yeah.
confusing the person.
The
where
League
you
of
went.
Legends jukes are coming
Yeah.
Overwatch now.
It's
Yo,
LeBlanc again.
Exactly.
Oh!
That's exactly
All
what I
the
was thinking of.
There's a reason I stopped playing.
But
I'm just kidding. I like
All right, is there
LeBlanc.
anything else?
Somber wasn't the only thing that they introduced. There's a new map coming out called Oasis.
That's
and-
getting.
I saw the
revealed.
screenshot of it and it looked a lot like Numbani, just
It did.
reskinned.
Just from that shot. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
that
bet
is
there's a
totally
lot.
different.
But
But
that's
that shot
getting-
looked exactly like that first bend
Yeah.
in
Numbani.
Numbani.
Looks like another payload map is what it is, but the height thing was interesting because I'm a Pharaoh player, so seeing the extra elevations
I mean, the-
look kind of cool.
I like the fact that they're adding different levels of height in their new maps, like
Yeah.
with the Eichenwald.
Yeah.
God, he said Eichenwald so weird.
Eichenwalde,
Yeah, I was like,
Eichenwalde.
what? What are you talking about, guy on the stage?
the CEO of Blizzard.
Yeah, but it looks interesting. And then they also announced the arcade mode, which features 1v1s and 3v3s of different types of like basically brawl modes.
And an arcade-specific map, which
Yeah.
is May's home map. In
Mhm.
the
Oh,
Where she was
Fantastic.
trapped for a year.
I'm only playing arcade from here on out.
Yeah, it's the
Like,
Antarctic.
May.
And then so Sombra and arcade mode are coming on the PTR realm for
This
Overwatch this coming Tuesday.
I guess you're not coming to engineering for a while.
Well, it's probably going to be. It's probably like 11 a.m. Pacific time is when they're gonna.
So
put it
probably
on
4 o'clock
after
our time.
that.
Man, she's gonna drop literally the last week of this competitive season, and matchmaking is gonna be a mess because everyone's gonna be scrambling to raise their rank for the last
Well,
week, and Sombra's gonna be
I
dropped,
imagine
and
she'll-
people
I
are
think
not gonna know.
I
how
think
to
they're
play.
gonna wait to go live until after it ends because
Really?
I can see them
they've been
coming
saying
out at the
they've been
beginning
saying
of the
with
competitive.
with PTR that making some changes, and the PTR tests are going on a lot longer than they used to.
Okay.
So it's not just going to be 1 or 2 weeks.
Because I mean, aren't they also testing the fact that ults take like 30% longer to charge now?
20%.
They kind of, I thought they
Or
backed up on that
25.
one.
I thought that was still going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a good thing, honestly.
No, yeah, because then
It's
it
not
becomes
just
more
a whole
about
game.
gameplay instead of just like, oh, I got my queue ready, let's do it.
We'll see because, yeah, in defense, that's a whole mess.
I feel like Tracer's ult needs to charge fast because that's so low impact.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, those changes coming to PTR Tuesday, and then December they're unveiling Oasis.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Colby, do you have any Overwatch thoughts right now?
No.
You like Sombra?
Yeah, she actually seems pretty cool. I dig the haircut, so.
I'm interested to see the skins.
Oh, the bet.
Yeah.
I loved it at the end when she was boop.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be her emote.
Oh yes.
Oh, I
no,
didn't
that
even think
won't
about
be
the
an
emotes.
Yeah, during the ARG, like randomly in one of her messages to everyone that was following it, she was just like boop at the end of one of her messages, and we were like, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
And everyone
Translated to Morse code.
and everyone that was like trying desperately to find out clues were like, look at the boop Halloween skin. There's gotta be a message in there.
Okay, and then Blizzard talked a little bit about StarCraft. They kind of went over that.
I personally didn't focus too
They
much on
basically were like, here's a reel of StarCraft. There's a new co-op maps coming out, and the game's also dead. So I'm sorry, but there's like a major StarCraft competition that currently decided to not do StarCraft this year. So it's a dying esport for sure. League of Legends and Dota 1 basically is what it came down to.
Soon to be Hearthstone.
I know-
Or,
I
it's
saw
not
the guy-
Hearthstone.
Speaking of
Overwatch.
Hearthstone,
Oh, let's transition to Hearthstone. They announced a new adventure. It looks like the other adventures.
are you a Hearthstone player?
I am not.
Colby, are you a Hearthstone player?
I used
once.
to play a little bit of Hearthstone.
I mean, I'll play every now and again, but like I've put $0 into the game.
I only bought one wing of an adventure, but it was fun.
Does anyone want to go back to Hearthstone? Is the question.
No.
I mean,
I enjoyed.
I played
I still-
Hearthstone for one spring break and never played it again.
I play it casually. Like I'll pop in a game with a friend and we'll duel or.
I don't want to do competitive, but I have fun, like just playing with some people.
You want to say that a little
No,
louder?
it's okay.
So like moving on from Hearthstone. because
Heroes of the Storm!
They announced literally nothing for Hearthstone. Heroes of the Storm. They came out. They're just like, yeah, we got people from World of Warcraft coming into the game, and we got Ragnaros and
Ragnaros?
Ragnarok.
Ragnaros.
Ragnaros.
He was
Like
Fire
Bob
Lord.
Ross
He was-
Ragnarok.
He was
More like Ragnarok.
Yeah, so they're bringing Varian from the Legion, or not Legion, Alliance. The Alliance King that died at the beginning of the Legion expansion. He's now a Heroes of the Storm character. He's gonna have a class that you can kind of change on the fly as it progresses. So right in Heroes, you like pick a skill to level up, and when you level the skill up, the guy's actually gonna change his class depending on what it is. And
It's like a
stuff
skill
that.
tree.
Yeah. It's kind of like a skill tree, but they're making his skill tree more defined because there's like a mini skill tree right now, but he actually gets to pick like how he ends. And something dropped. Also, I've double back into Hearthstone for a second. That presentation was how to not give a presentation.
Yeah,
that
that
guy
was
was
cringe.
horrible.
Yeah.
So they would show a card or whatever, and then he would explain the card and be like, "Hey, it's supposed to be really funny, guys." And he kept trying to make jokes the whole time, and the audience
showed-
was just quiet.
It was like a hunter card that was a piranha launcher, and you're just like, who doesn't want to shoot piranhas? And it's just like, dude,
It was
it's
just
a fuck-
quiet.
It's a digital card. It's not like it's fucking Saints Row.
There's a lot of 12-year-olds that like Hearthstone.
Yeah, but no 12-year-olds go to fucking BlizzCon itself.
No.
I just imagined a bunch of 12-year-olds in a room just like, "Piranha All right, anyone? Heroes
but
of the Storm.
Heroes of the
There's a new
Storm-
game type.
Yeah, what was that, Nexus
Sort of.
mode?
Yeah, so it's a asymmetrical multiplayer map. One team's attacking, one team's defending. Takes place in some Warcraft thing. It's the pirate guy. I don't know if you guys played Heroes with the pirate map.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's pirate themed. One team's attack, one team's defense. Whatever. New characters. The important thing is that if you play 15 or 16...
15
fif-
rounds.
Thank you. 15 rounds of this game type.
With a friend.
With a friend, you have to be queued with someone. So they have to be on your friends list, and you have to go into matchmaking with them. But you have to do that 15 times, and then you get a Genji skin.
And the Genji skin actually looks really cool.
It looks cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny they have to leverage their more popular games.
Some corporate society right there.
It's like, we exist too, guys. We're
I'm sure
over here.
Is the Heroes team getting jealous of the Overwatch team?
I might actually download Heroes of the Storm just to get a skin, and
Oh.
then immediately uninstall it.
100%. I'm going
Jason
to as
and
well.
and Jason's already making me download it, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
Wait,
we're playing it together. I don't give a shit.
I'm only gonna play Zarya.
Yeah, I'm only gonna play Tracer.
If we got 5, like it's a 5-person game, right?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
We got 5 people to jump in, and then if we just
Did our
just
15
jump
rounds.
in
We only
and
play
immediately
Overwatch
lose.
characters.
Next
sorry,
podcast, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna play while we do the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'm into carousel a little when I'm playing that.
Yeah.
This is our first podcast that's going live on YouTube first as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Oh, hey. So yeah, that was basically all the news about Heroes of the Storm. And then they came out with Diablo 3.
I'm actually excited about this
I
one.
thought Diablo 3 came out in like 2012.
It did. But the Diablo news is so exciting to me.
Tell me
It's
about
the way you
Diablo
said that,
news,
I had
'cause
to-
I'm
I had to-
so open to
AJ
owning
describe
this
it
game.
because I'm going to keep
Okay,
freaking
so
out.
the dude came out and he was just like, hey, I know you guys been waiting a while for like the Diablo stuff. We're currently in the process of our 20th year anniversary. So we're going to do in Diablo 3, Diablo 1. So basically what they're doing is they're having like a separate instance where you can queue in with your current characters and go through the Cathedral of Diablo 1 where you fight the 4 main bosses, the Butcher, Big Red at the bottom, all of the classic, horror themed. They are redoing the soundtrack in lieu of Diablo 1.
Which I'm
So
excited for.
it's remastered Diablo 1 in Diablo 3.
It's in Diablo 3 and the graphics are going to be all pixely and stuff.
Oh,
So it actually looks like your monk from Diablo 3 is going to look like a Diablo 1 monk, basically. Well, the monk's not in that game, but like a Diablo 1 character.
So it's like classic RuneScape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I miss classic RuneScape.
And
You can still play it.
I'm really excited for the soundtrack thing in particular because the old Tristram soundtrack is like one of my favorites from like
so
gaming
good.
in general.
So good.
Yeah, like the whole gothic kind of like guitar going
Yeah.
on, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
What did they call it? Like Shadows over Tristram?
Yeah, it's some of that sorts. But yeah, so they let you play through like the first act, and then you get to fight all the bosses from the first Diablo, and then they're adding some new zones to Diablo 3. Correct?
Yeah, they're adding 2 new free zones to Diablo 3, which I could give any shits less about because it's just like, oh yay, more thematic zones that I gotta kill the same enemies through. It's not like they're adding new enemies.
Well, they might.
They maybe, but they didn't say that they were.
They're going to go more in depth with the zones a little later tonight.
Hopefully.
So I would assume that there's going to be a little bit, which is exciting that there's more areas to kind of run through your
it's
characters.
exciting to know that they're still working on it.
So I don't really know a lot about Diablo. Is Diablo 3 the game where you can take a teleporter to a dimension with cows with giant axes?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It is that game. So
Yeah, the cow level's a lie.
And this is all free if you have the Reaper of Souls, so you don't have to purchase anything. It's
Yep.
with the expansion that came out a couple years ago. So if you have Diablo 3 in its current state, like it's the Reaper of Souls expansion, you get all this free of charge at the moment.
And
How expensive is Diablo 3?
I think it's
It's about $60 together. You can get a bundle.
It's free to start, isn't it?
free to start. You up to like level some odd, and then you can buy it, and then buy the Reapers of Souls expansion for pretty cheap, comparatively. Because I've gotten at least 150 hours of gameplay out of Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Because they do these things called seasons where they release you start a new character, you go from level 1 to level 80, and then you level up your Paragon level, and there's like different sets of challenges that you're supposed to do to unlock like new portraits and new like pets and wings and stuff like that. It's all thematic, but it's a lot of fun, especially when you get a group of friends together to do this season. But I think the biggest news that I was excited for, and that Jason's a little salty about.
Well, no, I'm excited for
You're
it.
excited, but
I
you're
wish
a
it
little
was
salty
someone
about
else.
it, that it wasn't something else.
I wish it was someone else.
They showed a little cinematic for the new class that they were revealing, and that they've currently made live on the PTR right now, the Necromancer class.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, we're bringing back an old school favorite. They took all these polls, and I'm like, it's going to be the Druid. It's going to be the Druid. And then they brought the Necromancer back, and I'm like, why the Necromancer? We already have a Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor replaced the Necromancer in Diablo 3, so now we have 2 summoners.
I don't
Why
like
do we
that.
need 2 summoners?
Because there's only one summoner. Whereas you have the Templar, you have the Barbarian.
But there's so many options they could have gone with. They could have gone with the Druid. They could have brought the Assassin back.
Oh, I would have been stoked for any new class at this point.
None of us know what you're talking about. It's AJ and Jason arguing about Diablo.
You guys have never played Diablo?
I've
Never played.
Yeah, I've never played. I've seen it.
Really?
The Cal thing looked interesting.
I've seen a little bit of it.
It's like
It looks
the
fun.
But I
ultimate.
mean, I'm considering getting it.
It's like the ultimate
Okay. We can get
action
it- we can-
RPG.
we can
like
get out of the
top-down
BlizzCon.
action RPG. And
It's always looked like fun to me, but I didn't want to spend the money for the full version because I knew I wanted the full version.
I mean, we can play you can download the free version and we'll try it out together.
Yeah, I
And
do
then
that.
see how you like it.
I'm investing so much time in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I don't have time for Diablo right now because
Fucking
Sombra.
Blizzard, make your games work
Well,
right
then I'm
with each
trying to
other.
get back into Dark Souls too. So
Yeah.
I need to play Overwatch in Diablo.
Try
Play
Overwatch
Diablo
in VR.
Overwatch.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Playing Tracer.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I tried it too.
No, you got to play Tracer, do the sit emote, and then just teleport for your movement.
We're talking about
That is
VR
a
Overwatch,
that is a
right?
brawl that we
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
do.
Just you can't like actually move. You can only teleport.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get out of BlizzCon. That
All right.
was exciting.
Oh, but one thing though, the one of Blizzard's founders is back in the company now.
Oh, which one?
Alan Adam.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's one of the 3 founding members.
Mm-hmm.
I
They-
researched it a little bit.
Didn't they have someone just leave? Like
Yeah, they had a really big member.
the guy that's
display.
always on stage.
So
Who's-
it's Mike Morheim is is the CEO and one of the founders. He's the
Okay.
one who was at the who announced the very beginning of the
Mhm.
presentation,
the one wearing like the Warcraft.
the Warcraft
Sure.
shirt.
But I mean, like the really loud dude that's usually on stage for them. He's gone now. He left like a
Oh,
couple
okay.
weeks ago.
Yeah,
I don't
their
remember
hype
his
man.
name.
Their
Yeah,
hype man.
exactly.
I know Chris Metzen left.
He was the lead designer of their original storyboard for Warcraft, and he was like their
was
big.
that Chris Metzen?
It could have been.
I don't know.
Because
feel
he was one of their big people that
Yeah.
just left.
That was probably him.
And then Alan Adam left because he
I should be
retired.
more informed about
and now
this.
he's back.
Oh well,
Yeah, basically Blizzard has one of its big founding members back.
which is
Okay.
pretty cool.
BlizzCon's done.
Yep. Let's talk about some movie shit.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Movies. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman
Doctor
trailer.
Strange.
Okay,
Second trailer.
didn't Wonder Woman get their director axed?
I have no
think
idea.
so.
Or no,
No,
like
that was
the-
a Flash.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Flash movie.
I thought the director for Wonder Woman 2 also left because there's just a bunch of creative differences between the guy who directed Batman vs Superman.
I think the problem is Warner Brothers.
We just
I
need to
think
get rid of
Warner
the-
Brothers just can't do a superhero movie right.
Yeah. Like, let's just go back to like Dark Knight Rises, and then we'll be pretty good.
Let's go back to Tim Burton, like
Yeah.
the Batman. Yeah.
Tim Burton, come back to superheroes, please. I know you're listening.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing with Deadpool's director too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Deadpool's director left, but I think that was
There's
No,
no
it's-
differences between him
and Ryan Reynolds got
Ryan
into a
Reynolds.
fight. He wanted to do more stylish. Ryan Reynolds wanted to do more comedy via vulgar humor, and they were not.
But I feel like they reached a pretty good like medium point. With
at least
that.
with Deadpool
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
the first one.
With the first one, with the new one, the director just backed out, so Ryan Reynolds is trying to find someone else now.
Ryan Reynolds is basically just throwing money at the project.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah.
Really?
I want to make this happen, guys.
He's funding quite a bit of it.
I
He's
just
just
assumed,
making- he's
I
making the
assumed
movie.
after Deadpool did so good that Warner Brothers would just be like, "Here's money."
No, after Deadpool, they were just like, "Oh, Suicide Squad is gonna do really good then."
you guys watch that movie?
No,
Suicide
I
Squad.
didn't even watch
You're
Suicide
not
Squad.
watching
I thought it was pretty good for what it was. Like, I enjoyed seeing Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah, there was definitely some good things about it. It seems like one of those movies that it was filmed and the original concept was really good, but in editing and post production, it
They
just got
fucked it.
butchered.
Well, they
Yeah.
cut out a lot of footage in there.
I heard
Yeah.
they like filmed 2 separate movies and then like edited them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Like, I
Jared
did-
Leto had like so much more screen time, and then
Yeah.
that all got cut.
Mhm.
He was a little pissed off after he saw it. Like, he refused to see it for a while because he knew that he wasn't, like, a lot of his scenes were cut out. But I feel like with Suicide Squad, they focused on, like, the wrong villain. Like, I could give a shit less about the ancient Aztec, witch lady. Like, fuck that.
Wait, Cara Delevingne was the
It was a dumb bad guy. They're not doing villains very well. And I mean, Jared Leto, I guess, is a villain, but he's also
But
kind
he
of just like
wasn't-
a supporting character in that
He
movie.
wasn't portrayed as a villain in that movie. He
Exactly.
was more of just like Harley Quinn's escape route.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do like the Marvel route of just finding really obscure comic book characters, but with DC obscure characters that are really obscure. Yeah, so but yeah, back to Wonder Woman.
Did you see the trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks really
Because I've heard
good.
so many good things about the trailer.
Colby,
despite-
describe the trailer to Paul.
It is.
Describe it to me.
I haven't seen it either.
It's. It looks like if you imagined Inglorious Bastards.
Okay.
That's a good start.
With a woman. Yeah, so essentially the trailer just kind of lets you know it's back in World War II. It looks like it's about maybe like the middle, maybe close to the end of World War II. So a lot of it looks like she's. Well, the previews make it seem like some soldier washes up on the shore of.
It's the guy who played Kirk in Star Trek.
Yeah, and so he kind
Chris
of
Pine?
Yes.
approaches I can't even remember their island and the Wonder Woman.
I don't
Oh, the
Amazons.
Amazons.
The Amazon thing.
Yeah, I think he approaches them to try to get help, but they're like, no one's gonna mess with Amazons. But
That's the whole thing. No man is allowed to be on Amazon Island.
Amazonia.
Amazonia?
I don't
Is
know.
that it?
Point is,
Amazonia.
Captain Kirk gets there and he's like, "Hey, Wonder Woman, I'm not on the Enterprise. I'm in World War II. I need some help."
yeah,
Did they kill him? I feel like that's what they would do.
I mean, I'd assume he's
So-
dead if he's from World War II at this point.
So wait, if it's World War II, is he English or is he American?
he sounded American.
Okay, so it's like 1940.
Yeah, when at least when America entered the war, so
Okay.
at some point around there. But yeah, it looks like that the Amazonians, like Diana's mom, doesn't agree with it, but it looks like Diana sneaks away with this soldier to help fight in the war.
Does he turn into Captain America?
It looks like a Captain America, but with Wonder Woman. But it actually looks a lot.
Wonder
better.
Woman, the first Justice Leaguer, is what he's called.
But hey, Wonder Woman at times was like even stronger than Superman in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times in the comics they put Wonder Woman and Superman like kind of on equal.
Yeah,
equal
like
level.
it depended on like the kind of like solar gear that it was in, like the way that they adapted their powers.
Which is why that Batman versus Superman final scene, spoilers for Batman versus Superman. But when
No
they're-
one cares.
when they're fighting the big bad guy, what is his name? It's not Abominate. What's his name?
World Destroyer.
Sure.
Apocalypse.
No, that's X-Men.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. What's his name?
Doomsday.
Doomsday. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's correct. Good job, Paul. Finally.
I don't even know the comic.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, they're fighting Doomsday, and Superman and Wonder Woman are like beating the crap out of this dude having a Dragon Ball fight, and Batman's on the side with a little dart gun, like pew pew. And they're like throwing these huge punches and stuff, and Batman is like a little kryptonite blaster, and he's like he comes out and shoots a little bit and then hides. It's like, oh, Batman.
Well, and he's a detective. He's not really a superhero. He's just a detective.
But on a different note, a new movie just came out. It was like an animated Batman cartoon that harkened back.
Oh,
to
the Killing
days.
Joke?
No. I'm talking like back to the days where it was like crime detective and they had like the big pow bang. It was that
Yeah.
type of movie and it was all animated and stuff and it actually has gotten like really good reviews for going back to like the crime detective solving days of Batman.
Yeah.
So I feel like there might be a bigger push towards that type of Batman.
Yeah.
too.
So there was an official Lego Batman trailer as well.
Yeah.
Lego Batman.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that could
Did you guys-
revive
did you guys
the
take a
Lego
look at
or
that?
the
No.
Yeah.
So it's directed
The
by the
DC
21 Jump
universe.
Street guys, I believe.
Oh, really?
It looks super legit.
Yeah,
I love the
When's
Lego
the new
movie.
21 Jump Street coming out?
Are they coming out with the?
It's
21?
on hiatus because the directors are doing a Star Wars movie after. They're doing the Han Solo and Lando buddy cop film.
Oh, yeah.
Which Childish Gambino is Lando.
That's true.
Shout out to Childish Gambino real quick. He was casted as Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
That's
badass.
awesome. I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see one of my favorite
That
rappers.
just sounds amazing.
He was on Community for a while
Well, it's
too.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald
Yeah,
Glover.
That's his name.
That's
Yeah.
his actual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Donald Glover put his name into like one of the. Oh, it's not
It's at the Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang Clan name generator,
Yeah.
and it came out Childish Gambino, and he's stuck with it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's movie shit.
Wonder Woman though.
No,
Right.
no. Am I right? Hey.
Was there anything else? I mean, Power Rangers that happened a while back.
A while ago.
We had our Power Ranger rant. So.
That's fine.
Should we talk about November releases? What time are we at right now?
Should we just talk about the games we've been
Yeah,
doing?
We kind of took a
wanna
while.
do it?
on
Unless there's
BlizzCon.
some really interesting releases.
I mean,
Pokemon,
no, I mean
Pokemon.
it is the first of the month, so we usually go through like the big releases.
It was just BlizzCon Day 7.
So like Owlboy came out.
What is
on Saturday.
Owlboy?
It's actually like it's a game that's been apparently in development for like 10 years.
Only Aaron's excited.
It's actually it looks like it has a really good story. The art is beautiful.
Is it 2D?
It's 2D. It's a platformer type thing, but you're an owl.
Call of Duty's on the way still.
Call of Duty releases today.
Yeah, it just came out. Mixed reviews on Steam.
Of
Really?
course.
Yeah.
I can, like, even if I didn't look at it, I would have been able to tell you mixed reviews on
I
Steam.
mean, yeah. The PS4 Pro comes out the 10th. Dishonored 2 on the 11th.
Ooh.
Watch Dogs 2 the 15th.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Daniel's
I
excited for
see.
some Pokemans.
Oh, that's on the
Pokemon.
Gonna go
18th.
catch a Pikachu.
That's the day before my birthday.
Walking Dead, the Telltale series, A New Frontier, Episode 1 on the 15th. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore.
Those games do well, actually.
Yeah, I thought people really liked.
I like the first
Dead's
Walking Dead. It was cool.
Telltale.
I haven't played them, but I've heard good things about it.
Well, it was that.
Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, which I imagine is the remastered
Gross.
2 through Brotherhood.
They call it remastered. I just say ultra graphic 60 FPS on PC.
Basically, yeah. Planet Coaster, November 17th. Killing Floor.
Wait, what's Planet Coaster? Is
Um,
that roller coaster cartoon?
It's some of the original developers of like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 moved to the to a new studio and decided to make like a spiritual successor to it.
Okay.
And it actually looks fan-fucking-tastic because you can
That's
edit
cool.
every little detail in that game.
Paul's Farmville, or what's it?
Stardew
again?
Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley boner just like got super high out there.
I'll like the game if you can make an incomplete roller coaster and just shoot people into like a giant
Into
pit.
I
space.
think you can.
Okay.
We should make that into a VR game. it's like, but it's like Burnout, so you get as much points for as much destruction you cause.
Why has nobody made a Burnout version of coasters? Let's see.
We're onto something. We're patenting that, guys.
Killing Floor 2, November 18th. The Amnesia Collection, November 22nd.
Spooky.
Darksiders War Mastered Edition, November 29th. Final
Dark.
Fantasy 15.
Oh, yay.
So excited for Final Fantasy. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm hesitant.
You're hesitant?
We'll see.
I'm watched all the animus now. I watched the movie. I'm caught up, dude.
Wait.
I'm ready.
So is Final Fantasy? I never can tell if it's futuristic or fantasy.
It's all over.
It goes
all
back and
It's,
forth.
Okay.
And each iteration of Final Fantasy is its own
It's its own universe.
Yeah.
collected story.
Yeah.
Because like
So-
Final Fantasy VII is like future dystopian, like
Yeah.
kind of rundown place.
Whereas Final
Fantasy
Fantasy 4 is like knights and dragons. And
Final Fantasy 9, yeah.
And Final
is
Fantasy 13 is like all just fantasy.
And 6 is somewhere in between. You got knights and stuff, but it's like there's an apocalypse and there was tech, and now there's dragons because there was an apocalypse. Long story.
This is why I've never gotten into Final
I'm
Fantasy.
excited.
They're great games.
Yeah. And,
Okay,
and
is
Final
there
Fantasy
anything else of
15 looks
importance?
beautiful. Just fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've been,
You're
I've been
a bad name.
hesitant with new Final Fantasy.
Basically, the
I'm gonna
story.
wait for it
I'll
to
go
come
over a
out.
quick synopsis before it comes up. So you're this animu dude. His name's Noctis, right?
He was a prince.
Yeah, he is a prince. So you're on
In
the
a
way
boy
to
band.
Yeah, you're on the way to you're on the way to marry this girl, right? Because like there's like a thing between like the alliances or whatever.
Yep.
So you gotta go marry her. So you're on the way. Your car breaks down. That's when the game starts for you. However, while you're on your road trip, everything else is fucked. The one kingdom attacked another. The girl's not there anymore, so she's taken somewhere else. So you're gonna show up.
Your
She's
princess
not
is
gonna
in
be
another
there.
castle.
She's gonna be in another castle. There's gonna be dragons everywhere. There's a lot of military dudes, and you're stuck with your boy band with the blonde hair guy and the big guy with the sword.
Why
and
does-
you're like,
And the
what are we
weird guy
doing?
that shoots guns.
Why does
That's the blonde guy.
Noct have his like special like teleportation power?
That's just what they are. They just have magic.
They just
and
have
stuff.
that
yeah,
power?
They,
Sombra.
they like they're like
Sombra hacked into Final Fantasy.
Okay, let's move on to what we've been playing. Colby, you want to start us off? We'll hurry this up quickly.
Yeah, I actually haven't really been playing anything new except. Oh, I haven't been playing, but it's I started watching Westworld, which is really awesome.
How is that?
It's like I was really skeptical because someone explained the plot and it sounded really dumb and
heard good
really
things.
stupid, but it's really good.
I brought it up to my Christian father, and he's like, "You shouldn't be watching that." I'm like, "I'm 22, Dad."
Yeah,
But-
Dad.
Yeah, it's really good. I love Anthony Hopkins, and he's probably one of my favorite actors, or like top 5 at least. But yeah, he does an amazing job in that show. So I've been binge watching that the last couple of days.
What
So
episode are you on?
I did episode 4 last night. So
Okay.
One of the YouTube channels I watch called The Nerd Writer. He does like analyses of different things, and he just put out an analysis on Westworld.
Oh, really?
So
I'll have to
that's
check
something
out.
worth looking into.
Yeah, I need to watch the newest episode first.
Out of 7 Paul Myers, how many Paul Myers does Westworld get?
A solid 6.
6 Paul out of 7
6
Paul
Pauls.
Myers.
High
6
praise.
balls.
Yeah.
High praise.
High praise.
But
Because one Paul Meyer is just incredible praise.
But
Just
where-
to start
the
with.
question is,
They're 1 Paul Meyer away from getting a dinosaur hot glued to a cup.
Oh shit!
How many-
AJ missed that.
how many buffaloes out of 6.7 does it get?
Out of 6.7, that's like a 5.73.
If you haven't been watching since episode 2, it's just all going downhill.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, what have you been doing?
Recently, I played a little bit of Stardew Valley, but I was defeatedly trying to get the Mercy skin. I'm now convinced that Mercy is not a real character in Overwatch. She doesn't exist. If you have been playing her, it's a figment of your imagination. Mercy isn't a real character anymore because I didn't get her skin.
You just been playing Tracer and just slowly walking around as Tracer, thinking
Yep.
that you're Mercy.
That's what's happened. If you
I got
if you've
4
been playing
duplicate mercies.
Mercy. No, you didn't because Mercy doesn't exist.
That's really sad.
I'm
Anything else?
boycotting Mercy. No, I think those are the only video games I've really been playing.
Daniel, what about you?
Nothing really new. I mean, a shit ton of Overwatch. Trying to get back into Dark Souls.
Or you were
Used
just
to-
tired of Overwatch?
How's the
Used to play a
how's
lot
the
of Dark
DLC?
Souls. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh no!
That's why I'm starting replaying it. But,
Oh, like you started a new character.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could just go to it on my other
Yeah,
profile.
I didn't know. If
I
you
want to. I want to play.
I didn't know if
through
you
it.
were one of those types of players that, like, if a new DLC comes out and you already have a character near that, you would just play that character.
Well, I mean,
Just-
I used to just be able to beat the game like fast enough that it didn't take that much
Yeah.
time.
Daniel's
So-
a Dark Souls speedrunner for those that are
Mhm.
uninitiated.
Well, I used to.
He only plays it blindfold, only blindfold.
and with a banana.
No, I mean, I don't know. I didn't do as much speed runs. I did more challenge runs. So I try to beat the game. I beat the game at
Oh.
level 1.
Soul level 1.
Gotcha.
So level 1 on Dark Souls 1 and 3. Dark Souls 2 sucks.
Dark Souls 2 doesn't exist. It's like Mercy doesn't exist.
Yep.
It doesn't suck. It's just not as good
It's
as
just
the others.
it's not a good story.
Okay.
Jason, what have you
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I've been playing World of Final Fantasy
Yeah?
and Overwatch, high-end Overwatch, but whatever, that's boring. I'm going to talk about World of Final Fantasy for a little bit.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
please do.
have further, I'm like 6 hours in at this point. Last week I was like 30 minutes in, now I'm 6 hours. I go fast. So basically, you're
An
these
entire
two-
week, I did 6 hours.
you're these 2 anime characters, right? They're like, oh hey, we don't know anything. I don't remember my memory. I guess we're brother and sister, and we had a mom. That's all I remember.
Memory
Like,
loss?
This is super Japanese, really Japanese, right? So, and then it's like it turns into Pokemon. So your arms have like these tattoos, and then you can like you have like these prisms, and you throw them at monsters and catch them. And I'm like, this is Pokemon, right? This is exactly what it is. So you don't fight with weapons. You fight with the little Pokemons that are on your head, and so everyone in the universe is like a little chibi character, but you're like a full-size person, so you're double the height. But you have the ability to turn into a chibi character. But there's a mechanic with it. So if you're a chibi character, you could stack 2 small monsters on your head, and then so two of the Pokemon that you caught, you can then do that. So you can put a fire and a water on your head, and you're a fire-water guy all of a sudden, right? So you're resistant to both because you got them on your head, and you're a little chibi guy. And if you're a little chibi guy, you can also ride one. So you can have one on your head, and you can be riding the big one. And you're in the middle of the sandwich.
I think you're having an anime fever dream.
No, it's great. But if you're in the big mode, then you can stack a small and a medium one on your head. So you gotta kind of balance, right? And then you catch them, and then they're Final Fantasy characters, and you're like, hey, Cloud. And he's like, hey, I'm Chibi Cloud. And it's great. My rant is over. I love World of Final Fantasy.
That just sounded incredible.
Can you stack them can you stack 2 monsters on top of you and then wear a large trench coat and walk around?
No, you cannot, sadly.
Okay.
So the options on your character are kind of limited, and it's in the typical active time battle gauge that a Final Fantasy game is in. So it's their old school combat system where you watch the bar go up, and your bar is indicative of the speed and the weight of your monster. So if you're riding a big one that's fat, then all of a sudden you're riding a 30-pound monster, so your ATP gauge is slower. So the smaller chibi guy actually goes slower but hits harder. The bigger guys actually go quicker but hit less. And you can actually, there's a mechanic where you unstack them, so you can actually control 6 guys instead, but then you're super weak. And then you can be like, okay, well, we're super weak, but now we can keep throwing potions on everyone. So I can throw 6 potions because I have 6 turns now. Super complicated, but super great. I love it. Oh my gosh.
All All right, AJ. What about you?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I...
Please
I-
follow that up.
I cannot-
With something more impressive.
Good God.
Tell us about BT.
Been playing Titanfall 2. That's my big splurge of the month. And month, I mean the past 6 months, because I don't buy games very often. It's a lot of fun. I beat the entire campaign mode on hard. It wasn't really that difficult, just because of the way that the checkpoints work. Story mode is it ramped up really well. I know a lot of people say like the first hour wasn't that great, and it wasn't. Like, it certainly does take a while for you to like get emotionally invested in between like the writer and the pilot and the Titan. BT is my home dog now.
Who's BT?
BT is the Titan that you
Yeah.
pilot. Basically, you start as like this ground infantry unit who's not even a pilot, and then some pilot dies on the battlefield, transfers control of the Titan over to you, and then from there you're a pilot, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a badass.
So you're just a loser, and then BT's like, who are you?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
And the way that the game ramps up in like scale and size is really fun. A lot of the set pieces are a lot of like really good shooting galleries. It looks like multiplayer is a lot of fun. It certainly took a lot to get used to from like a normal traditional like Call of Duty type shooter or Battlefield type shooter, because there's a lot of verticality to it. There's a lot of movement. You got to be going quick. Basically, the auto shotty dominates the multiplayer servers right now.
Yeah.
So until they fix that, I imagine a lot of people are going to go auto shotty. But I've been running assault rifles just because I can kill from a distance, and a lot of it's fun. Getting your Titan in multiplayer is just like, yeah, I'm a badass. I got my Titan first. Y'all motherfuckers are dead. I don't know. It feels like a lot of like Titanfall 1, but in Titanfall 2, which is a good and a bad thing all at once.
I never played Titanfall 1, so that
I-
might be that's a
neither
selling
did I.
point for me.
I heard it's not selling very well.
That's just because EA is fucking retarded and decided to put it in between right after Battlefield 1
Which is their own game.
and right before COD.
Yeah. I heard...
And in the 1 month where literally everything is just being pushed out.
It
because
also
of the poor
needs to go through
sales-
Origin.
Because of the poor sales, I heard this might be the last Titanfall, though.
Which sucks.
Respawn is currently working on a Star Wars branded game for their next one.
Yep.
And that'll come out in 3 years. Because after next year, there's one Star Wars game a year from EA. So you're getting your Battlefront
Of course
2
there
next
is.
year.
Fuck
and then you're
that.
getting your Amy Hennig game, which is the cinematic Uncharted one. Like she's
I guess if they mix genres so that they've got like a first person shooter and a story driven
But
game.
just fuck Battlefront.
They're
to
doing,
begin
well,
with.
yeah. Next year's first-person Battlefront 2. Year after that is going to be the Uncharted, and then the year after that is the Respawn one, which said we'll focus on hand-to-hand combat, which I don't know if that means lightsaber combat, but they said
would
close range
imagine.
combat.
I
Yeah.
would hope.
So that means the Titanfall guys are working on a maybe lightsaber game, or maybe you're just the guy who punches really hard and punches
Why don't we
stormtroopers in
have-
the face.
I mean, if they're already doing mechs, why don't they just do like an ATT, that type of game where you're like stormtroopers but in giant mechs?
The only Star Wars game I need is Dark Forces.
Yeah.
You a big Dark Forces fan?
Battlefront 2 is the best.
first
I'd be down for a new like
Like the DOS.
What I want to see is a remake
Oh, yeah.
of Battlefront 2.
I grew up on
yeah,
Same.
or
I put a lot of
Because
time into
Battlefront 2 was released right at kind of the advent of multiplayer online gaming. And so it didn't really get too much of that.
Mhm.
And I feel like that is a game that could have succeeded a ton with online
we
multiplayer.
need a remastered version of Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we close out, Colby, do you have anything to say about Star Wars?
May the force be with you.
Amen.
Amen.